Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles, and today's video is going to go over ways to overcome business burnout. I was inspired to make this video by a comment that I got 2 weeks ago asking if I can go over this topic, and I was super open and excited to discuss the topic because this is a topic that not only I have had to work through, but a lot of my entrepreneurial peers have as well. Like I mentioned in so many other videos on this channel, I do offer a mentoring program, and I also do business consultations. And during those interactions, I get the opportunity to speak with a lot of different entrepreneurs, and they explain some of the troubles that they're going through. We talk about the goals, we talk about what they're looking to accomplish. And, business burnout is definitely something that resonates with more than a few people, I can tell you that. So I'm going to be going over again ways to overcome business burnout. If you are interested in this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into the video. So let's talk a little bit about what business burnout is. I'm not going to give you the Google definition, although you're welcome to go ahead and look it up if you'd like to. But pretty much in my own words, business burnout is similar to writer's block in the sense that you're doing something, you're in a field, but you may feel tapped out, you may feel uninspired, you may feel demotivated, you may feel as if you've given it all you have and you're at a standstill. You may have a creativity block where you're not sure what else to do or how else to market or promote your business or to work your business. And so staying innovative, staying present with your business is always beneficial, but it's easier said than done. So I'm going to go over, like I said, ways that you can overcome this. So the first thing that I want to talk about is connecting with motivated individuals. This is so important. When I find myself becoming less involved in my business and less interested, and that creativity really isn't flowing, that excitement isn't there behind any of my business moves, I have to evaluate who I'm around. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be around entrepreneurs 24/7 in order to be successful. Not saying that at all. Sometimes it's not even realistic to be around entrepreneurs 24/7. But what I am saying is that you want to make sure that you make it an intentional goal of yours to constantly put yourself in the mix of people that are moving toward their goals and dreams. Why is that important? Well, a lot of times we operate through energy. Okay, so this is something that I'm learning the older that I get, that someone's energy definitely can affect the way that you feel. So if you have a group of people that are talking negatively, you have a group of people, that are gossiping all day, a group of people that don't see any ways to overcome their obstacles, a group of people that are always talking about what they can't do, versus you're in a room with people that are constantly talking about how they overcame obstacles, what they're planning on doing today to bring them closer to their goal, how they built their credit score, how they purchased their first home. Different conversations, different energy creates different vibes, and in a sense, that's what a vibe is. It's pretty much, energy. And so what you surround yourself with, who you surround yourself around, definitely has an impact on how you could feel. Now, I remember just giving you an example. I used to love going to Chicago, like on the weekends. I would just love it. And I still do, but just go with me with this story here. And my friends would say, what is so intriguing about Chicago? Like, yes, it's a nice place to go. Yes, it's a nice place to eat, to tour, to visit. If you have family and friends, or to walk downtown, it's great shopping. But what specifically do you like? Why do you want to go every weekend? And I thought about that question, and it was the energy. Like when I go to Chicago, it's a completely different energy than I have experienced in any other city. Now, every city has their own energy. Every city has their own perks. But going into Chicago, there's a different energy that I can't even explain unless you've been there. And it makes me feel inspired. It makes me feel motivated. It makes me feel a breath of fresh air. It's that hustle and bustle that a lot of times is needed for some people to get back involved or excited with what it is they're doing. It's kind of like going to different workshops that other entrepreneurs are at. It doesn't have to be people that are in the same field, doesn't have to necessarily be people that have been in the business for as long as you have. But the simple fact of being around people that are excited, hustling and bustling, wanting to achieve more, somehow puts you in this mind frame of, yes, and it releases something, in my opinion, or it's happened to me, where I find that creativity and that, like that drive and, just ready to go for my business type of feeling. Now, realistically, I don't travel to Chicago every weekend anymore. I have children, there's different things that I'm doing in my life, so I don't get in the car and go to Chicago every weekend. However, just giving you an example, sometimes when you get out and you put yourself in a different atmosphere, something that's a little bit new to you, or something that may have a little bit more of a hustle and bustle than what you've been used to. Some people that are talking in a different tone, have different energy and a vibe around them than what you have been surrounding yourself with. It can definitely help to spark some of that motivation that you may feel that you've lost. And also, just hearing others excited about their business may also bring that excitement back to you and remind you of why you fell in love with what you're doing. Now, the second point that I want to go over is get out. Have a healthy work-life balance. If you're following me on social media, I posted a picture a couple days ago of me stepping out on the weekend. And I posted that picture because it is so important to have a work and also a life balance. I think so often we can get so committed to a single task, and I've said this before, that we can develop tunnel vision, meaning we're only focusing on one specific area of our life. And because we're only focusing on one specific area of our life, the other areas don't get the proper attention. The other areas don't get the proper time. And, we're feeling, although we may be accomplishing things with our business, we're not feeling whole. We're not feeling fulfilled because there are other parts that we're lacking. Now, I'm not saying that, we're perfect, or that you're going to be able to find the perfect balance all the time. That's what we're striving for. But realistically, that may not happen all the time. But I am saying that getting out, allowing yourself to try new things, like I mentioned a moment ago with the first example, the first point, getting out, going places. I was someone where I really didn't want to go out too often, and I still don't. Like I'm more so a homebody. If you call me, you're more than likely going to catch me in the house or at a family's home. I would say friends, but not even friends like that. Probably home or with a family member. Other than that, I enjoy sitting at home, but I do also know the importance of getting out. Now, I'm not saying that I have to go to the club. I personally don't like clubs like that. Not saying there's anything wrong with it, but everyone has what they like doing. I'm not saying that you have to go out and go to a lounge. I like lounges. That's just me. I'm not saying that you have to go for a picnic. Picnics are okay. I'm not saying that you have to do anything specifically. Do what it is you want to do, but getting out and allowing yourself to just relax, have a good time, put the work task in this basket for another day, and just allow your mind the freedom to just say, hey, I'm just going to enjoy myself tonight, is definitely necessary. So if you go to my Facebook, Brittney Bundles, you'll be able to see that picture that I posted. And I was a little dressed up, not too much, but I felt good knowing that I was getting out, knowing that I didn't need to focus on anything business related, because that can really become time consuming, and it can also become very draining if you give your attention to just one thing every single day. So it's very important to treat yourself. It's very important to get out. Some people may like to get out and go browse different stores. Now, I'm not saying just spend money just for the heck of it, but if you want to go out and treat yourself, I do believe in that. I think that that is very beneficial, as long as you are accounting for how you're spending and you're making sure that you're being responsible with your spending habits. But getting out, meeting people, going to lunch, going out places, like I said, wherever makes you happy, trying new scenery or being in new scenery, going different places, traveling. All those things help you not be so focused on one thing, which can cause burnout. The interesting thing that I wanted to bring up with this topic is, and it just kind of popped into my mind a few moments ago. My son, is on a basketball team. And one thing that I noticed is when the two teams are tied, it seems like there's so much tense energy in the air that when they line up to do like a free throw shot, or I think I'm saying the right terminology, but whenever the other teammate or team fouls my son's team, they get to line up and they get to do like a shot because they were fouled. And I can notice when it's really tense, some of the shots don't go in. Not as much when they were ahead, like when they were winning considerably. Like if the score is like 20-40, then I noticed that like the team is making the shots way more effortlessly. And then when it's tense, it seems like every shot they're attempting to make doesn't go in. And we're like, what happened? And it's kind of the same analogy with our business life, right? When we're focused on it, but not so much where it's overwhelming us, it seems like things just work out, right? Not saying everything's perfect, but you may notice that orders are coming in, clients are returning, customers are more interested in becoming clients. You're able to think about what to post. Content ideas for your videos are just flowing through. And so it seems like when, for example, let's say that you are focused on making this certain amount of money this month, and you're doing everything you can, and you're overworking it, and you're not going to sleep, and you're not focused on anything else. You cut everyone out your life, and you're only focused on this specific goal with your business. You may say, wow, like now that I'm putting all of the focus into this and I'm going in overdrive, I'm not even getting what I was getting last month when I wasn't focused so much on it. Now, what does this mean? Am I saying don't focus on what it is you're doing? Am I saying don't give your business attention? No, that would be contrary to everything that I talk about on this channel in the aspect of business. But I am saying that it is possible to overthink things. It is possible to overdo it sometimes. And when you do that, a lot of times it can cause our mind to just feel like, okay, this is too much. And because it's too much, you may feel overwhelmed. And when you feel overwhelmed, a lot of times those feelings of depression, or the feelings of anxiety, or the feelings of demotivation, or you becoming uninspired, or not being able to think creatively like you normally were able to. All of that can play a huge part and creep into your life by that door, by that window of just overwhelming yourself. So that is something else that I would definitely work on doing, is having a healthy work-life balance. Now, the next thing that I want to point out is rest, the lack of sleep, amongst many things, like how you eat, what types of activities you're doing throughout the day, what you're feeding your mind. All of these things, plus more, have a direct impact on the way that you think, the way that you feel, and the way that you act. And so if you're not taking care of your body and you're wondering, hey, why am I not being as efficient in this area of my life as I know that I can be? Or why am I not this dedicated anymore like I was before? I know that I still enjoy what I do. I know that I still want to be an entrepreneur. I know that I still want to empower people with my business and the services and products that I offer. I know that I still want to be able to think creatively with my business, but I'm not able to at this point. Why? Ask yourself, have I honestly been getting enough rest? Have I been eating well? And I know those things may sound like really cliche, but honestly, it's the truth. I can't expect for my body to work in its top tier if I'm not doing what it is I need to do to take care of my body. I cannot expect my feelings and my attitude and my thinking to be where it needs to be if I'm not taking care of my body. I can't expect my work performance in any industry to be as good as I know I can be if I'm not caring for the things that I'm feeding my mind, the things that I'm feeding my body, the activities that I'm doing daily. So just ask yourself, what am I doing to add value to myself? What am I doing to take care of myself? And if I haven't done all of that, let me start doing that to see if that changes my outlook on my business. Because really, if we think about it, business burnout, a lot of times it's how we're viewing our business. It's how we're viewing what we have to do, our task. It's how we're viewing ourselves. It's a mental game, okay? The next thing that I want to talk about is evaluating your passion. So asking yourself, is what I'm doing now still in line with what I'm passionate about? That's why I talk about, one of the reasons I talk about getting into a field, starting a business with something that you are passionate, interested, invested in. Yes, anyone pretty much can learn the art of selling something. You know, back when I started my sales career, the first test that I had to go through was selling a pen to the manager. He handed me a pen, and my job was to sell it to him. And I did a good job because I was offered the position on the spot. However, that's not, am I drawn to pens? Like, would I open a whole company selling pens even though I knew I could? Probably not. It's not something that I feel drawn to. However, at the point in my life when I started my hair business, I was intrigued with trying new hairstyles, with putting new extensions in, with coloring extensions. I was super intrigued with that. Not saying I'm not intrigued now, but as the years progressed, I got intrigued with other aspects of the hair industry. So like a salon, for example, got intrigued with that. And then I thought to myself, because I was feeling burnout there as well, in such a short time, I had to evaluate all the things that I'm telling you all about. And I made the decision to still stay in the hair industry, but to pivot how I was in the hair industry. So pivot the way that my business was set up. So, okay, although the salon is not what I thought it would be, and it doesn't bring the fulfillment that I was looking for it to bring, and it doesn't make sense for my life and my business plans at this particular time, doesn't mean that my services aren't valuable. So how can I bring back those creative juices to find a way to stay relevant in the hair industry? Because I do enjoy extensions. I do enjoy being able to be creative through hair, right? So the goal was to find a way to still do all of that without being in the salon, okay? And once I found a way to make mobile money, which is what I talk about very frequently, not just selling hair online, but adding other services that I'm passionate about. I am passionate about others being able to sell themselves, for others' businesses to grow. And so I added services like professional biographies. I help different businesses with their professional biographies, consultations, my mentoring program, website reviews, different things like that, my ebook. And I continue to grow my business through what I'm passionate about. So often I see entrepreneurs get started with a business, and although their drive or their passion for the specific part of their business that they got started with may not be the exact driver in their lives today, they become uninspired, when it's like you don't have to stay the same throughout your whole life, right? Change is very important, and it's a necessary aspect. So deciding and being creative to figure out, okay, well, I still do like this, but now I'm interested in this too. So how can I incorporate this into what I'm doing? Or how can I start this journey too and transition or pivot what I'm currently doing so that everything works out? It's a part of being creative. It's a part of being innovative. It's a part of being an entrepreneur. So deciding, what am I passionate about? Am I bringing my passions to my business? You can be passionate about something and then grow passion for something else as well. You can be intrigued with something and then over the years become more intrigued with something else. And you can still incorporate all of those things together to help drive your business forward and to help empower other people and to help also earn more revenue for your business. The last thing that I want to go over is add more creativity. So this may sound like, okay, Brittney, yeah, sounds great that you're saying that, but how? Everyone has to tap into themselves to figure out what makes them motivated to think of new ideas. Some people reading books motivates them, stimulates their mind, and it gets them motivated to opening up and thinking about new things that translate into creativity for their business. Some people like to listen to music And that's a window of opportunity for creativity to kind of flow through them. Some people like to go out and sit in nature, and that's another opportunity that can stimulate their mind to think of the things that are going to better themselves or better their business. So it's all about figuring out you. What is going to help you become more inspired, and what is going to get those creative juices flowing for you? Sometimes writing will get creative juices flowing for me. Sometimes laying in the bed and resting will get creative juices flowing for me. Sometimes riding in the car will get creative juices flowing for me. Sometimes being amongst other people that are excited about their business and talking about other business ideas may spark an idea to get my creativity flowing. So it's just putting yourself in the right place. It's allowing yourself the freedom to relax and to think about what it is I want to do, instead of focusing so much on one specific aspect of your business, and realizing too that you deserve grace. So even if you don't reach your goals, even if you haven't done as well as you hope to do for a certain quarter or a certain year, it doesn't mean that you have to stay in that position. There's always hope with your business. As long as you're motivated to make your business something, as long as you're consistent, as long as you are moving intentionally, as long as you have a great action plan behind you, resources, a mentor, some type of person to hold you accountable for what you're doing, I think that there's no limit to what we can do. Your past does not have to define your future. There are a lot of people that I worked with that were very on and off with their business. I mean, even myself, when I first started my website, I was very on and off. And there comes a time where you have to decide that you're either all in or not. I talk about that a lot on my Brittney Bundles podcast. There's a whole episode dedicated to, I think it's titled Living an All-In Lifestyle. So at one point you have to decide what it is you want. And if this is something you want, then, expect that you are going to become, or you may become, demotivated sometimes. You may become uninspired sometimes. But what you do to get up and continue moving forward is going to separate you from people that are able to see progress, and people that are staying committed, and people that are constantly striving and overcoming business burnout, versus those that are allowing business burnout to overtake them. So you have to decide, do you want to be someone that is overtook, or do you want to be that person that overcomes? So that's a personal decision that we all have to make for ourselves. I really hope that this video helped. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I do want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.